Hello world, how are you? We have some Q&A to do. I hope you're doing fine, cause it's Q&A time again. Hello world, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing great. So, welcome to another Friday Night Live Q&A. Today we got a special treat for y'all. I am at Joe's Shrimp Shack. We're hanging out. Many of you guys have been asking for shrimp videos and just asking more questions about them, since a lot of you guys do know me for shrimp and I haven't been making as many lately. So we're going to cover that here today. And I brought in, well, he actually brought me in.
That's right.
And he actually knows a ton about shrimp. Yeah, he knows more than I do. So, if you guys got your shrimp questions, have that ready for tonight, and we will give you a little peek of his facility too, which we will be doing a tour as well. And you have a YouTube channel as well too.
Yes, I do. Joe's Shrimp Shack.
Yep, check it out. But hello everybody in the chat, glad to see you all, and thank you all for liking. I appreciate that. I see you guys saying that in the chat. Glad to see all you awesome people in here. And how's the quality going? We're on the Wi-Fi here, and I'm not sure how well it's going. So, look at all those tanks. How sweet is that? And those are all shrimp.
Those are all shrimp.
All shrimp. But if you do got fish questions too, feel free to ask. George Trotter says, are you shipping fish? So I am shipping fish. Everything on my website is getting shipped. I do know up here in Minnesota, you guys are going to get 10 inches. I don't know what's going to happen in Indianapolis, but sure, down there by Wednesday I will be fine to ship. So I do still ship everything all around. But yeah, even if you don't have a shrimp question, like you can always ask any question you want. Plants, fish, shrimp. But big shout out to the Minnesota Aquarium Society for having me up here. That I'm in Minneapolis right now. And I gave a talk last night at their club. I actually just got done giving a talk tonight as well. And I don't know if they're streaming here right now, but they may still be in Dan Rowe's basement watching. So big shout out to you guys. Awesome club. Been treating me well. Got to see all kinds of cool tanks, fish, and whatnot at why I've been here. And it's been great just meeting everybody.
It's great been having you.
What up from the Rowe House Watch Party? Awesome. There's Dan
Rowe.
Rowe in the chat. So that is so cool. Yeah, but we pretty much had to book it up here to get here in time, and I'm glad we did. So, let's scroll for some questions here. Need trip, Ohio Fish Rescue. Their account got hacked. Yeah, Ohio Fish Rescue. Man.
Big shout out to Rich too.
Yeah, and Tracy. Prayers go out to them. Oh my God, I hope she pulls through.
Yep.
Like,
if you need anything, just let us know.
Yes, yes. I really wish I didn't have anything to do this weekend, or I would totally be over there trying to pick up what Tracy's not, because, I mean, she does so much for Ohio Fish Rescue. And if you guys don't know, she's just not at her best right now. She's in the hospital. Prayers to her. Thomas Glazer asks, do you have Caridina shrimp? If so, what substrate do you use? So I do actually have some Caridina. Guess what they're on?
Let me guess, you probably just have it on sand.
No, Eco Complete.
Do you have it on Eco? It's not even a buffering soil.
Not at all. Not at all.
I have a lot of Caridinas, and I have used Shrimp King, SL Aqua, and Protobio. I've also used Control Soil too.
Yeah. Which I don't get a whole lot of breeding out of my shrimp either, because it doesn't have that acidity. But at the same time, it is old Eco Complete, so it's not as inert as like or it's more inert as opposed to like new Eco Complete would be, especially with the water that comes with it.
And I'm testing out these tanks right here. This is platinum. So I'm testing out 3 tanks of those on the platinum right here. So right now it's like in the mid 5s for the pH right now.
That's way low.
Yep.
That's where you need to. DLC Aquaterra, thank you so much for a $20 super chat. That is awesome. Nice. Swinging hard on the first one. Yeah, that is sweet. Let's start the super chats off. More for the cause and many prayers for Tracy and the gang. Yes, all the prayers. It keeps getting brought up too, and I guess it's not a bad thing to bring up.
I think there's the GoFundMe for her too.
There is a GoFundMe for her. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
I know it's been posted. I think it's posted on my page, and they've posted a lot of different
Okay.
USA pages and everything else. There's a GoFundMe for her.
Okay. Dana Harris asks, any Arutu soon? So I have a few, but I don't really have enough to ship out at the moment. I'd have to look into them. I tell you what, well, yeah, send an email to LRB Aquatics orders@gmail.com. It's on our contact us on the website, and ask for them. I can possibly help you. But I know there's a lot of people who are wanting those too, so unfortunately, hopefully Sarah doesn't get like 50 emails. Sorry, Sarah. Thomas Glazer, thank you once again for your support. Throwing down the $5 super chat with the shrimp.
I feel so much shorter and smaller than you.
Yeah, you're in
stuff. I got like a small head compared to your. You're up close. It's like, man, I got like a little.
I tried to shrink the chair,
like,
but there wasn't much I could do. Little Joe. But people have asked for reservations here, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
You guys got to hear this story.
So, okay,
good.
I am a smart person, and I know there was Joe's Crab Shack, and at one point, Joe's Crab Shack wasn't doing well. So I took the ploy and I did Joe's Shrimp Shack. And ever since then, about once a month, I get people calling me trying to get reservations. So at first, I was always like, hey, this is an aquarium store. Now I just kind of go in with it. I'm like, how many reservations would you like? And they're like, oh, like 3 people. I'm like, perfect. They're like, what's your special? I said, shrimp. Perfect. How are they prepared? I'm like, a little bit al dente. So I have fun with it. So I'm actually thinking about getting like a small table here with some candles and just make the next reservation and give the people some MREs when they come here.
There you go. Wouldn't
That'd
that be
fun.
something? Come here on a date expecting a dinner, and then this is what you get. By the way, do you want some shrimp in an aquarium? Do you know all about them?
You don't have an aquarium? I'm glad, because I have some right here.
And candy overhauls, I about said something, but I knew it would have been a stretch. I didn't know if you had to link, but as always, Supermod, Candy Overhauls, I don't know if you know her, but she's in a lot of channels. She does modding, and she's got like all the links, and she did link up the GoFundMe for
Nice,
Tracy
thank you.
up here. So thank you, Candy. Appreciate you, as always. And Lars K, always great to see you in here. And how can you guys hear Joe now? Because I saw somebody said the audio was kind of low on Joe. Lars K, thank you for the $10 super chat. Says, always love your content. Well, I always love your super chats, Lars. I love your support. I love you, buddy. Thank you so much. And without you guys, like, you guys are a big part of keeping this YouTube going, especially with your guys' super chats. So, big shout out to you guys. Like always, I can never appreciate you guys enough. Another person asked, how many milligrams of copper to kill shrimp?
Wow, I know some trace. I know some trace foods do have some copper in there. I try not to put any copper in any tank that has invertebrates in there. That's my sentiments on that one.
I still fertilize the trace elements and stuff that have copper in them.
So it'd be under what, 0.1?
Yeah, I think
parts
they
per
have.
million?
Yeah, I can't remember what milligrams are in there.
Because I know some foods have like 0.01 parts per million.
Yeah, very small amount.
Yeah, very, very small amounts.
So do you know what the maximum amount or where it starts affecting them?
I don't, but while you're talking, I can actually look it up. How's that sound?
Hey, that sounds good. I'll scroll some questions.
That's
That's
right.
a cool thing too. We can actually like team up here. Because while he was talking, I was able to look at the chat here and catch up with you guys. Kind of like that. Good day from Australia, guys. Keep up the great content. Thank you, Blade Walker.
Thank you.
Breeding Amanos.
So it says right on here, 0.10 milligrams per liter. is
Oh,
safe.
okay. And so if you're doing water changes too, you could probably dilute it. Or
Yep.
does it settle at the bottom? I wonder how that works.
They got a whole entire link for it.
Right.
I'll just go to it.
Sounds complicated.
It does.
So breeding Amanos, you definitely do need to raise the larva up in brackish water. You got to have like rotifers and stuff for them
Yep.
too, don't you?
Yep.
Yep.
You can use like vinegar eels too.
What temperature is it? Like mid 70s or something?
Like 76 is a decent one for a monos
Yeah.
for breeding them that way.
Alright. Black rose shrimp and blue velvet. Think I'll get some purple sickles out of it. So, when it comes to creating purple shrimp, I use the reds and the blues. I've never tried black rose and blue velvets, but black rose can hold chocolate lineage, Bloody Mary lineage, Blue Dream lineage. That's why I've actually gotten a black rose to be a tricolor neo at one point. I had like 30 or 40 of them until it crashed because I put my shrimp back into it. Oh, I got to log in for my flight here, it says. Lucas, breeding tips for orange really. So just like every neo Caridina, same thing, you're going to want harder water. That means a higher TDS, a higher pH, which I don't really deal with pH. I just go off TDS, which is your total dissolved solids. If you don't know what TDS is, I do recommend you figuring that out. It's not hard. There are many videos about it. But yeah, just keep them in that harder water. Give them a nice place to establish their colonies and their nursery, which I like to use rock piles. And that gives the female somewhere comfortable to keep and raise their babies. And as far as like them breeding out, they will not breed, like to have a true orange really line, there isn't any out there. I mean, is that
stable at all?
Yeah, not stable at all. So what happens often is they'll have big vats of orange shrimp, and then some will be orange reallys, and then they kind of put them together. But it's not impossible to stabilize these. You can. They just take time and work. And I don't think a lot of people are really actually putting the time and focus towards it.
Yep, so when he gets the tour and everything else, I have an orange really tank, and they've had
Yeah.
2 batches of babies, so we'll see what the percentage is in that one.
Well, that'll be good to know. And that's a good way to track your lineage too, as you're like trying to create new kind of strains and stuff. Like keep on like each generation, like what they start throwing, like how many percentages what. And if you can get that to graduate over time, then you're doing the right thing. Let's see. Stephen Conroe, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, brother. Says, does he feed all his tanks tetratropical granules? And good evening. Great question.
I feed mine different stuff. Right now, I am doing every other day. I'm doing a little bit of magic powder in each tank, and then once a week, usually on a Saturday when it's really busy here for the customers, I'll do like some Shrimp King complete. I'll use like a Shrimp King Snow Pops. So it depends on how many people get here. I'll drop a pellet in there so they can see them. But I got to starve them for a video tomorrow.
Right. That's the trick to getting good footage on shrimp. If you want to feed them right at the front of the tank so they all come up to them. You don't want to try to film the tank before.
Because shrimp are
just
natural
try to find 'em.
Scavengers and everything else.
Yes.
So they'll eat algae out there.
So they're foraging. They're all over the place.
Yep, I always keep
great
cholla wood in the
foragers.
tank, and I always keep an almond leaf in there too. So
Yeah, and that's good. Just excess food for them if
Yep.
you're not feeding them. They have something to eat. And that's great for babies too, because they'll get the biofilm that the babies love to eat. And you'll actually have a lot more success rates by doing this. So. And Dana Harris, thank you so much for the $19.99 super chat. Put $20 or well 20.00. Thank you Dana. I appreciate you. Way to round it up there. And yeah, awesome. And Stephen Conroe, thank you again for the $5 super chat. You're doing too much. All you need is granules. Yeah, did you know that's all I feed my fish room?
yeah.
It's what fish and shrimp crave. I mean, they go nuts for it. What range of TES? Asked Diane S. So, when it comes to Neocardinas, I like to shoot for over 300. Like 300 to 500. You'll be alright. You can keep them at lower than that, but over time they may start having issues. And then for Caridinas, you usually want them around 100, between 200 tops. Would you agree with that?
I do like 115 to 130. I recommend to people.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of people when they come in here, they'll keep it'll get up to like 140 and they start freaking. I'm like, don't worry about it. But if I told them that the end mark was 140, then it'll get to 150.
Right, so they don't push the limit too much.
Yep, 115 to 130 is a 4 to 5 on the GH scale.
All right, so really, so do you say really or Riley?
Really.
Okay.
Really? We're from Minnesota.
Are you really?
Yeah, sure, you betcha,
really?
don't you know? Eat a bunch of lutefisk and hot dish.
That's pretty good Minnesotan accent.
That's right.
So really to start a really line at LRB, yes. So honestly, I think you might have a better chance if you were to like get an orange really from one place and an orange really from another place and mash them together. I wonder how well that would work opposed to just getting orange really from one place and then breeding them out and seeing what comes out.
I guess it would
and
kind of
trying to cull
depend
it
on
out.
the people you get the shrimp from.
Right.
So if you
it all
got,
starts with the lineage. So
Yep.
you got a gamble of mucking up one line over
yeah,
another.
I mean, if one person has reallys and they out of 100 babies they only get 50 of them that are really looking, it's probably not a good bet to do that because you're going to go down to maybe like 40% getting reallys out.
Yeah. So you add that gamble factor to it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would stick like if you're gonna try to get more reallys, I would go with a better looking male.
Makes sense.
So I just learned like a
Or
lot
just
of genetics.
what
are
I
from
would
the
do
male.
is I would just, if you do only have one generation, which is probably is better to just go with the one generation to take that gamble factor out, and then just keep calling out the ones that you don't want, and you just got to give it that time to process itself through. It's a slow process, and it's what I did with my blue dreams. Essentially, when I first got my blue dream Neo Caridinas, they were constantly throwing every other color besides blue dreams, and like maybe 30% blue dreams is what I was getting out of it at the time. And it took me probably 10 tanks of separating all the different culls and colors, and then graduating the colony to different tanks. Like
Nice.
taking, like, so I would take my best blue dreams, put them in a tank, and then they would grow out so many, and then I would take the best out of that after so often, and then restart a whole nother colony from that.
Would you take the original
So
male out of the original father?
no,
male?
I would just grab whatever. I'd grab the best ones I saw, and then after that, I'd do it again. So each time I'm pulling away from that colony, so each time the best is getting the breed, not them mixing in with what may be in there as well. And from that, that's how I solidified the line of blue dreams.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's a super chat there I do not want to miss. FishTube, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says Tetra's new food, Tetra St. John's granules. Hey, here's the hoping, or not even hoping. Here's the action. But thank you so much, FishTube. Appreciate the support. And Father Fish, my man, throwing down a $20 super chat. I love Father Fish. He's a very natural keeper too. He's got a store down in Venice.
I think I've seen him on other chats.
Yes, he's got a channel as well.
Yep.
And thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you, Father Fish, and can't wait to come down and visit. I'm giving a talk down there too. Here in,
Nice.
I think was May or June. I can't remember exactly, but it is on LRB Aquatics. My dates of where my talks are and everything. And sorry if I miss anybody's question. I do the best I can here. What product do you recommend for a replacement of minerals in RODI?
So I've tried a few different ones. So I've used the Brightwell, I've used the SL Aqua, I've used the Shrimp King. It depends on, like, for me, I personally like using liquid remineralizer. It's easy and convenient for me when you have this many tanks. So I've used the Brightwell. I just switched over to SL Aqua right now. It does seem a little bit more watered down, just like Brightwell was watered down in my opinion. It took more product to get it up to the minerals that I wanted versus going from a salt. So if anybody's out there like gonna work on stuff, I would come out with a liquid remineralizer that's more concentrated for the bigger breeders. You'd make money on it. This is me. I mean, if you want to be a business,
I usually use the Nilo CG. It's like $6 a pound
Yep.
for the GH booster, which is pretty cheap. And you could create your own solution out of
Yep.
that if you really wanted to. But you got to do some math and some experimenting, I should say. This was back. Dana Harris asked for a depressed fish. So if your fish is having depression, it depends on the situation too. Sometimes when a fish, like if they're a pair especially and they lose their partner, it can affect them big time. And I've seen it in killifish and all kinds of different fish, rainbow fish. They can get depressed over it. Sometimes it just takes them some time. Sometimes you can make them more comfortable. Maybe think about their environment. Are they comfortable in their environment? Is their environment making them happy enough? If that's a possibility to change them. But really, it's hard to break them out of a depression if
Play some Barry White.
Or he can try that. Maybe turn on some fun tunes or something.
You know what song I think they would like if you got depressed fish?
What?
The Mr. Pleco song.
Oh, there you go.
Mr. Pleco song. If you haven't seen it yet,
oh my God,
look up the Mr. Pleco song. It is like the bomb.
Yeah. So I had to show him what Mr. Pleco was. It's a classic. It's a classic. Guppy Boy says, can I feed my shrimp mulberry leaves in the mulberry trees that give red and black berry? And how do you prepare so I can prepare for spring and summer? I would say throw it on in there.
So what I would do first is see
I
if
wouldn't
your
do nothing.
If your city,
make sure there's not chemicals
if your city
on it.
flies over and sprays pesticides, try not to get any leaves that fell on the ground for a long period of time. If they're wet leaves, you can always pop them in a food dehydrator if you want them dried out. You can also put it in the oven at, I think it's like 150 degrees. I think it dries it out as well. But it's like candy for shrimp. I'm putting mulberry leaves in there and they just eat it up.
Yeah. You can do, there's all kinds of leaves out there. Nettles, it's just anything organic breaking down that they can process. Like shrimp, they actually go through a lot. They're constantly producing waste and just running stuff through their bodies.
But do research though, because some leaves are more acidic.
Okay.
Like maple leaves. Maple leaves.
So you don't want those for like your neocaridinias, but if you had them for your caridinias, you should be all right, right?
Yep.
Okay. Makes sense to me. Starting up a shrimp tank. What's a good beginning species? Hardish water, 7-ish pH. Also best appropriate substrate. Thanks. So if you're just going off pH of 7, it's hard to tell if that's acidic water or alkalitic water. 7's pretty neutral as far as the pH scale, so you could just be sitting with neutral water, but you can kind of keep them both, but it's not really ideal for breeding as far as like really prominent breeding. But if you're not worried about breeding them out a whole lot, then you could almost get away with both Caridina and Neocaridina.
And for the substrate, I like sand for my Neocaridinas.
Yeah, it's inert. You don't have to worry about it running out. I think it's good for, as long as you can keep the acidity down for Caridinas.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, as long as there's no carbon in the water, no KH in the water
the KH is a killer.
That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing, yes. KH is, for some reason, they do not like bicarbonates. Well, awesome, better than television. Glad your LRB Endlers are breeding.
We are television.
Right? Can't do that on television. You remember that show? That's so
And we've had a fun time with you traveling up to Minnesota here and putting up with our cold weather.
Yeah, this weather is brutal. I don't know how we got scheduled, but I've been having absolute fun. So.
I think at first when you read the email, you didn't understand it was Minnesota. I think you thought it was like Florida or something like that. I'll go there in February. Perfect.
Right. I had a lot going on last year.
You got on the airplane and they're like, it's going to be 5 degrees.
Israel Ponce says, any advice on breeding ghost shrimp? As far as ghost shrimp, somebody asked this question last Friday night too.
It's the same as the monos. It's brackish water.
Yep. And you'll need the rotifers and stuff too. But sometimes you will get some shrimp sold as ghost shrimp that are actually grass shrimp, which grass shrimp are wild in pretty much every country around this world.
Yep.
And you can actually get them to breed in freshwater if you're lucky enough to get a hold of those. Which, have you ever come across those? It's hard to just buy those, isn't it?
Every once in a while you'll find some. I think there was a strand in Minnesota here because he was getting a lot of ghost shrimp, you know, in breeding and stuff. I think they're just grass shrimp. Every once in a while, you come across them at wholesalers.
Diane S. says, Lucas, are you going to be at Keystone Clash this year? I don't know. Things are kind of up in the air right now with the big moves that I'm making. And not really planning much more at this point. But I do, even if I do plan on flying down or living in the island, or well, I do already plan. So when I do get to the island, I do still plan on coming up to the States and visiting and doing events and stuff as much as I can. Because it's actually cheaper to fly up to the States than it is to fly down to the island. How many types of shrimp are in Joe's tanks at LRB Aquatics?
Wow, I have 75 shrimp tanks right now, all different varieties.
That's a lot of varieties. 75
It
different
is, and that's
types.
not even touching everything that's out
Yeah,
there.
no, there's much more out there.
I kind of like see something I like, and I'm like, ooh, I want those. I'm like the hoarder. So the first year I did this, I hoarded a lot. I went over and I bought shrimp like there's no tomorrow. I had 55 tanks in my 1-bedroom condo, in my living room, wall to wall, and I just hoarded everything. And my landlord, so I had Eric Lucas came up here for one of our expos, and my toilet broke, and I had to have my landlord come in, and then he texts me and he's like, I think we have an issue here. And I said, well, what's the issue? He goes, why do you have that many tanks in your room? I said, this ain't nothing. I know friends that have a lot more. And I said, they're all clean, they're all respectful. And he's like, nope, gotta get them out of here. He goes, I don't like tanks. So luckily I found this spot and rented it out. I had this as my breeding facility, and then when I separated from New Wave Aquaria, I went over and decided to do my own retail store. So shut down for a few days and built new racks with my buddy Tyler, and the rest is history.
I'd say it's working out for you.
I like it. I like
That
the
looks
look.
pretty good right there. That looks pretty good. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? It's whiskey in the chat. Gotti Guy says, have you ever used RO water after a water change to rice fish or shrimp to breed? To raise fish?
To raise. I might be raised. That's all I use here is RO water. So the water here in Plymouth is really crappy. A lot of iron in it. It's got chloramine in the water. So that's all I use is RO water here.
And I've went through my fish room with RO water. I'm kind of back at hard water. Just because I'm keeping a lot of guppies and things more towards the side of hard water. Trying to keep it simple. I'm trying to use the water I'm given. Especially since I've got a lot of tanks to maintain. Have you... Oh, I already read that one. Man, we're crushing these questions. Yeah, Jimmy. You didn't know? Oh, you didn't know? Better recognize. Can't wait. Ian Zeglin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat and your order as well. Says, thanks for the email response this week. Well, you are welcome. So shout out to Lady LRB for taking care of that. She's so awesome by helping me all the time with my shenanigans. But thank you so much for the super chat. Aquariums maintained by Andy says, what's the difference between glass and grass shrimp? So glass shrimp, they can actually breed in freshwater. The glass shrimp can't. And they are kind of different body too.
They look a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different. They're really similar, and I think it can vary too on where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you went to a local pet store and said, are those, you know, glass shrimp and everything else, they're not going to know. They're going to say they're just ghost shrimp.
Yeah, they probably won't know. Steve LeCane, will moving affect your shipping at all? Will you still be able to ship to the States easily or no? So that's actually going to be my biggest challenge in this whole venture. Well, that and just getting down there. That would be my second challenge. So it's going to be a learning curve for me, but I'm really good at shipping fish and shrimp, so I don't think it's impossible, and I think I should still be able to do so. And worst comes to worst, I could always have a distribution point. Let's see. None of the local stores here have good quality shrimp. One of them asked me if I could start breeding for them. Now I need to figure out how. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how you do it? You do it. You just do it.
Trial
you set it
and
up.
error.
Yeah. You talk to people like us. You watch these kind of videos. It's enough to get you going. And yeah, give us some time. Breed them out. Feed your need. The hobby. That's why a lot of us do it, is because we're addicted to this. And shrimp can help us build our fish rooms. And
when I first got into this, I asked everybody tons of questions. Now my advice to people is, find someone that you trust breeding shrimp and kind of stick to their advice. Try and find people that are around your area, because I know like my water varies from like California water, varies from Indianapolis water and stuff. And what works for me could work for you if you're around that area. But that's the biggest thing is finding someone that you trust that breeds, following their advice. There's a lot of good advice on Google. There's a lot of bad advice on Google too. The best thing is just find someone that you trust and just replicate what they're trying to do.
yeah. That way they're in the same parameters that they're
Correct.
kind of used to and raised out. Just like, for instance, I was talking about the speech I did for these guys tonight was about my outdoor ponds. We were talking about keeping shrimp outside, and I had like maybe 30 fire reds out in a little tub pond thing, and it froze over and like maybe 10 survived. But at that point, those shrimp are going to be more cold tolerant, so if you could actually breed those out, you could possibly make something out of that. So it's what I'm trying to say is their environment that they're raised from can sometimes affect their ability to live somewhere else. Because even like some of the import shrimp, a lot of the Caridinas are kind of raised in softer water, aren't they?
Yeah, so like over in northern Taiwan, they call it the sweet water. So
Yeah.
a lot of the Caridina breeders live in the northern area of Taiwan, and then the southern area is a lot of Caridinos.
So Aquarium's maintained by Andy. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat to support again. It says for shrimp foods. Can you kind of take? Actually, do you have a charger? My phone actually only has 10% right now. Is there any way
You
we
keep
can
on.
plug
How about
this
you
in?
keep on talking?
Okay,
And I'll keep on doing this then.
that'll work. All right. Oh, thank you, Candy Overhauls, for posting up Joe's Shrimp Shack's channel there.
Thank you.
So if you guys want to check out his channel, hit that link. Let's see, your thoughts about Academia substrate for Caridina shrimpies. So I've never actually used it. That would be a better question for you. Have you ever used it?
Which
Academia?
No, I haven't.
No, so he hasn't used it either. So we couldn't really give you a good example, but maybe somebody in the chat, maybe one of you guys have, if you could help him out. I know there's a lot of options these days for the acidic substrate. There's a lot of people getting into that. Isn't glass shrimp lots of different species? To be honest, yeah, okay. I wasn't sure.
Listen,
Awesome, look at that.
My air pump.
Sweet, you did that for me?
Just for you.
He went filterless. You're
Yes,
going
I'm
filterless.
filterless.
Oh my God, just for me. So I can have this phone plugged in. How cool is that? Now you're living.
I'm living.
Now you're living. You
My
figured
fish
it
down
out.
there, it's like, oh, hey.
They're like, ah, ah, ah. They're all dying now. Awesome. Thank you, Mickey M, for
Did you see
7-2.
which air pump I unplugged though?
The big one, yeah.
Versus my shrimp.
Hear that? I'm already talking like you guys.
I unplugged
Why?
the fish one versus the shrimp one.
Is there a reason for that?
I love my shrimp.
More scared. Yeah. Those are
I got
your
a lot of-
baby.
I got a lot of-
He's a fish. He's a shrimp addict.
I am.
So he actually used to train horses and stuff,
Yep.
and he quit doing that, which that's good money doing that kind of stuff.
I decided to follow my passion. My passion was aquatics.
Yeah, which that's awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome to it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Welcome to our whole
Clan.
But
the
yeah,
family.
our fish fam clan.
I will tell you this right now: the aquatic world is, we all tend to, even if we're like competitors for like business and stuff, we still are friends. We still talk to each other. We still recommend each other back and forth. Horse industry, oh no, man, it's it's a dog eat dog world.
Yeah. All right.
Too bad you don't have like a remote where you can just do that, like a scroll.
Right, CMO, or even like a tablet where it can read more than 4 at a time. What's your opinion on black backgrounds versus no background or a opaque background? In particular, when it comes to a schooling fish like a silver dollar species tank, thanks at LRB Aquatics. So with the silver dollar species, they kind of get that sheen and shine on them when the light hits them. So you could really go with any of those options because the opaque or a clear background will still give you that pop off that fish with your lighting. I'm a big fan of the black backdrops on everything though.
Makes everything pop.
Yeah, but there are some fish that do pop more without it.
Yeah.
The ones that are more reflective tend to do that.
If you're gonna do like a lot of photographs too of your tank too, it's good having the background on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like in the background here it was just natural, and then with my YouTube page and with me taking photos, I had to put a backdrop on all the tanks.
All right. Did I read that one? Yes. I'm trying my best not to miss any questions here, guys. So I did scroll up. And I'm probably well off the bottom, too. Doing well, Rainiers, blah, blah, blah. Matter of fact, let's see, LRB, how long from day one of setup to being able to add blue bolts if I use Aquarium plant and shrimp substrate?
I would not use that.
No.
So here's the issue. I had a customer bought some of that. He sent me a message. He says, "Hey, my TDS is 223 and my GH is 4 to 5 on there." And I said, "Can you retest please, because the numbers aren't equal to what it should be. It should have been, he should have had a 115 and 130 on there for his TDS." And he retested it, and I mean, I love every product out there, but my sentiments for raising shrimp, if you're going to get into shrimp, is stick with companies that actually specialize in shrimp products, because they're the ones that spent the time and money into researching all this, versus another entity that sees the market and they want to just make some money now, so they're just going to come out with products. So when I set up my Caridina tank, I've used some products out there that you can put shrimp in there within 2 weeks. I at least wait 30 days for a full cycle on there. Sometimes the tank won't mature for 60 days. So I tell people 30 days, but some, as a retail store, people want to set it up, come back the next day, and I'm like,
Right. It's better safe than be sorry.
Correct.
Give it that extra week, because it usually takes like 3 weeks to really cycle it, and just to make sure it's nice and seasoned for them. And it also depends on how you just set up the tank. So when you are setting up a tank, you got big keys like making rock piles for nurseries for the females to lay eggs in, have their babies, well, not lay eggs, but to hold and feel safe. And then like catappa leaves, cholo wood, stuff like that. And you'll see a lot of that in his tanks too when we do the tour and whatnot. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Moonstone KK. Thank you. I appreciate you. That is awesome. And GB3, if you guys can't tell, I'm kind of tired. GB3, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, buy Joe a beer. I have some of his shrimp. Cheating on you, Lucas. Oh, GB3, what are you doing? Well, you guys know my Caridina game is not strong, and his Caridina games is a lot stronger on those, and keep my fish. Like, everybody, I love my fish.
I mean, I was super
I love my
surprised
shrimp.
in 2017 when I came to your house.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. And you're like, "Hey, you want to go out in the garage?" I'm like, "Sure." Wow.
Yeah, so he's actually been to my house and seen the setup, which was, 3 years ago. That's crazy. Man, time flies.
When you're having fun.
Yeah, it's true. That's why. Having fun, I guess. Favorite snails for a shrimp tank?
Me personally,
Yeah.
assassin snails.
Yeah.
I'm not a big snail person. When I first got into it, I was super happy that I bought some plants from Petco, and I found a little snail. Actually, on my personal page, there's actually a video. I was like, "Oh, look, I got a free snail. I got one over on them." And about 3 months later, I was like, "Damn, how do you get rid of these snails?"
Yeah,
So-
I have ram's horn and bladder snails in with mine, but ideally, I don't know, you don't necessarily need snails in with them because the shrimp are going to do a lot of the job that the snails would do. Actually, if I were to put anything in there to try to keep the glass clean, I would put a Placo in there. A small Placo. Bristlenose are alright.
Bristlenose? You don't want to go with like a big old 12-inch common, you know?
I mean, if you're feeling risque. Let's see. Antonio MX says, how many shrimp you guys think I should put in 300 liters tank to have enough pop for the cycle? You mean you're trying to use shrimp to cycle your tank?
I would not, if you're trying to use shrimp to cycle your tank, I would not recommend it because they're going to
No.
be the first things that die. But if you're looking at how many shrimp you can fit in that size tank, I've had in a 2.5 gallon tank, I've had over 300 shrimp in there. I just pack it full of moss and allow them not to get on the ground, and they just keep on breeding.
Quinn Golly says, which product do you recommend for water parameter testing? I just do TDS myself, but I do recommend you trying to figure out what your GH and KH is, especially when you're keeping Caridina shrimp. Neo-Caridinas, they like the KH. The Caridinas do not. And
So yeah, because if you kind of look at it like...
TDS won't tell you that. So you do want
Correct.
to test your GH and KH to kind of get an idea of what's in that TDS.
Correct.
So once you know that, you kind of
if you look at it, like every food has carbon, it's carbon in there. Because if you took a lighter and you lit the food on fire, it's going to leave ash. It's going to have carbon in there.
Yeah, ash
So-
has carbon.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that depends on how much you overfeed, if the shrimp aren't eating it all and everything else. But if you're on a regular routine and stuff, I personally use a TDS pen. That's how I do mine.
Yeah, same here. TDS pen for everything.
That's like the must-have for a shrimp room.
And you guys hear us all right? Let us know how the volume is. Just curious.
You know what you could do? We could just start moving our lips like...
Yeah, Swissy, you got a lot to catch up with. Yeah. Oh, so, you want to battle me?
We can...
If my platies spawn in my 75 gallon, will the 10 or so rainbow fish eat the fry? Yes, possibly. Yeah. Rainbows love to eat all day long. Can you guys tell when I accidentally hit that button? You must be able to. Punchy says, quit touching buttons, Lucas. Tell you what, how about we hit this button? Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. This should liven it up. Oh, good times. Or we can go under the sea. We'll keep it normal. All right. Now I can't get out of here. So I am down at the bottom of the chat. Sorry if I missed anybody's question. I have no idea how far I am. Audio is good. Audio is good. 5 out of 5 for the audio. I would say that's pretty good. And I'm hitting buttons. Sorry, guys. KJ says, I have very soft water, almost 0 KH from the tap. I just bought Seachem acid alkaline buffer. What's your thoughts on the product? So I've never used it. The buffers, actually, wait, I have used the Seachem buffers for acidity one time for some tetras, and it totally killed them. Maybe it was on my behalf, maybe because I was going for real acidic water. Like
So my
5
thing
or
is
so.
once again, you know, if you're doing
It's
fish,
not stable. I don't think those are very
if it's
stable.
fish, it's one thing, but it comes right back to, you know, shrimp. Stick with products that were made by shrimp companies. Add tannins if you want lower pH and stuff. Add tannins. Add some mopani wood in there and stuff. That'll drop it down with all the tannins.
Yeah. But yeah, you want to try to keep from swinging things within your aquarium, because that's what causes problems, that's what causes stress, and that's what kills things. So I would try a more natural approach, or if you even have soft water like that, maybe just lean towards Caridina species or species that do fit within your water parameters.
Check your GH and check your KH.
Which actually puts you at an advantage than most people, because there's a lot of hard water around our country.
Oh yeah.
Ginger Graves, thank you so much for the support, Ginger. And the $10 super chat says, #1 fan, awesome, you're the best, Ginger. Thank you. Well, I see y'all later. Well, later, Sean. Man, my arm gets tired after a while. But hey, I am glad that, wow, I can't believe 45 minutes is already over. It is flying. I guess, like you said, Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right.
Hi,
And you got to drive in a snowstorm yesterday.
All right, so do you guys got questions or not? You guys are like working my finger here. Is that your guys' goal? Just keep spamming comments, so he's got to keep scrolling. So that works for me. YouTube likes it. Oh, whoa, you're going to be in Pittsburgh. So, yeah, Barry Heavers, I will be in Pittsburgh giving a talk. And once again, I can't remember the date. I'm terrible with dates. I got a photographic memory, so, like, numbers and stuff, remembering that, it's not the best for me. But it is on my website at lrbaquatics.com. And it has all my events. 20-gallon beta sorority or dwarf rainbows? Now, Alex, this is a question you have to answer for yourself. I cannot do this for you. Do you want the sorority betas or do you want the rainbows? You can. You can.
How about this though?
If you do it right, you
2
can.
tanks. Then you get the betas in one.
You're brilliant,
And you get the
Joe.
rainbows in the other
I
one.
love your
Side by
thinking.
side. And what
I
you
love
can
his
actually
thinking.
do is take a piece of wood and cut it in half so it looks like they're going inside each
There
other.
you go. Or rocks that do the same thing
Heck yeah.
too. Yeah, you can do it all kinds of different ways.
We just solved
I
it
love
for
that
you right
thinking.
there.
Yes, another tank. So do both. Monica Lynn, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It says, how long does it take guppy fry to mature? What techniques do you recommend to catch them, examine them, and divide them up to be the least stressful on them and me? So as far as capturing them, the best thing to do is wait like till the day when the light's on, and they'll all come up to the top, and they're gonna be hungry. They're always hungry. Scoop them up, because at night they'll sleep on the bottom, and it's a lot harder to catch them trying to dodge gravel and not pick up gravel and sand and stuff. And as far as examining them, I don't know how much examining you want to do. I guess it depends like on the maturity. I don't know the exact time frame. I think it's like 2 to 3 months for juvenile, and then maybe 5 months to get towards adults, 5-6 months. I could be wrong on that, but that's about what I see, if I had to really put it there. And I guess you're gonna be looking, it takes them to color up. I've seen some color up real young, and then some take forever until they're like almost adults to actually show their color. And then as far as like to do it with the less stress is, yeah, just give them less time in awkward situations and keep them in more comfortable situations.
So I want to say hi to Brady because I think everybody's watching the stream and they're texting me on my phone to make me look at my phone. So, hey.
Tyler Vogue.
Tyler.
Hey, glad to see you in here. Throwing down a $5 super chat. Says, what's up, guys? Thanks for coming to Minnesota, Lucas. Was great meeting you. Was great meeting you, too. And thank you so much for showing me your tanks and your shrimp room down in the basement. I appreciate you. It's a very nice setup.
The dungeon.
The dungeon.
Tyler's dungeon.
It wasn't very dungeon.
So I
it was
originally,
nice.
I originally talked to Tyler. Is downstairs he used to rent his basement, and he's got a perfect like man cave basement. I said, look, let's just put all shrimp tanks down there. That's what he did. Just do this thing up. Well, no, you should see further in there.
Oh yeah.
He's got a bigger room out there.
Is there stuff in it?
Yeah, his mother-in-law or his mom.
Oh, okay.
But
There's no fish tanks.
She
though.
can move upstairs, and we can just take over that whole entire room. There's a kitchen in there and private entrance. That's what I'm talking about. What'd you think, Tyler?
Let's see. I think I got to all the super chats. Okay. In competitions, how many show prizes won for Joe? How many medals you got?
One first and 3 seconds. I competed in 2 contests. So the first contest was the international one, and I won first place on my Neo Caridinas. And then the first year that the USA Breeders, I entered 3 categories, and I got 3 seconds.
Nice.
Oh, and then I got
so he does have some awards
ones.
too.
Yeah, some Minnesota ones. I got first and
he's no geek off the street.
Try not to be.
Right. He's got the hardware.
Oh, you know what? Do you want to be like? I got something fun for us to do. You keep on asking questions.
All right. All right.
We're gonna match on this one.
Peplin Creek Clark says, "Did you drive up here?" No, I flew. They flew me up here. It's a long drive. The shrimp room is sexy, ain't it though?
It's
Scrolling. How are shrimp when it comes to diseases? So there's not really a whole lot of shrimp diseases out there. There's only like a select few. You got the biopsy stuff,
The fungus.
Vorticella,
Yep.
which isn't really a disease. That's more of a parasite.
And then you get the rust.
And then what's the rust?
The rust where they have like the little brown spots on them.
Oh yeah, what is that?
It's pretty rare and stuff out there, but
That's
I've seen it going around and stuff.
Yeah.
Treat with peroxide.
Mm.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, what's this?
Just put them on, man.
Why?
Because I got suckered.
Now this is stylish.
That's right.
What's up?
We're Tony Stark.
How you doing?
Take over the world.
Oh my.
I got suckered on. I stay up late, and I
Yeah.
just buy stupid stuff. And
Oh, you gotta watch doing that. That's easy to do.
I saw these and they look so cool on the website, so I ordered 2, and then I got them.
Nice.
I'm like, man,
You're like, LRB will be here soon. We've got to do this.
that's right. It almost looks like a filter that we're wearing this on a
Right.
filter.
So I want to know who wears it better.
Of course, I'm gonna say you too. It's your channel.
Oh, that's true. They're kind of biased, but they're pretty honest with me. They don't have any problem giving me flack. So Blue Ice Aquatics says, do you think this China shutdown of everything is going to affect the fish and shrimp hobby? So we actually don't get a whole lot out of China.
We
when
get a
it
lot of
comes
like
to imports. Most comes from like Taiwan and
Taiwan and stuff. Yeah.
Indonesia and
I mean, we get a lot of our like
elsewhere.
hard goods from our lights and everything else like that, but not necessarily a lot of the fish and the shrimp.
And I'm sure it'll affect other countries too, so I mean it may have some kind of global thing. The only thing to do is tell, like you can speculate all you want, but who really knows the real numbers of what's going on with all that and the real news on it. Brian Clemens, oh Brian, you got a pretty tough name there. Clemens, can you do that? Klemazowski?
Kimazowski?
We tried. Sorry if we butchered it.
Kimazowski? That's what I'm thinking.
Says, hey Lucas, I was wondering if you would be willing to sell a pair of the blue pineapple guppies you have in the utility room. So yeah, I could do that. Email Sarah, lrbaquaticsorders@gmail.com. Once again, it's on the LRB Aquatics website at Contact Us.
Those glasses look good on you.
Thanks. They're a little different. Man. Says LRB, do you think? Oh yeah, I already read that. Why did it jump?
'Cause people
Oh,
say-
and we are getting towards the 50-minute mark here. YouTube often loves to give me a hard time around this time. So if we do black out, it was nice hanging out with y'all.
It's Cheech and Chong, I like that
just
one.
in case. Mexican American.
Hey man, it's a toothpick.
I think he said his name was Ralph.
Ralph. Where's your license? In the back of the car.
GB3, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says you better make that coffee instead of beer. You guys are getting loopy. Yes, that'll happen with lack of sleep. Coffee, I don't do coffee. I used to when I was
Well, I
a
don't
kid,
drink.
but
I do coffee. So
Yeah.
how about you have the drink?
I need
I
to
don't have the coffee.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. You know, beer makes me tired.
I'm a tea person personally.
Tea's good.
If I ever
I
come
love
visit
a
any of
green
you
tea.
guys, just have tea for me.
I like tea. All right, Barry Heaver says, I have some problems with mulm. No filtration in my planted community tank. Only a couple of mono currently. What other species could help or no? So mulm's just a natural buildup of organics breaking down and waste collecting together, and it just starts creating dirt. So you can either just siphon it out. I would not count on fish, shrimp, or snail or anything of the sort to take care of that problem for you. So you just got to kind of take care of the maintenance. And mulm's not a bad thing. You look out in the nature, mulm is all over the place. Fish are constantly grazing off of it. Shrimp are grazing off of it. There's lots of microorganisms grazing off of it. It's not bad stuff. So don't want to vac. So I don't vac my substrates either. And I just get what's off the top. I may like waft it up a little bit as I'm siphoning. And that's all I do. Besides that, it's just layer of mulm and substrate. Gotti guy said Tony Stark wears it better. He
Oh,
got
wow.
us. He got us.
That's right. You guys ever do raffles on your live stream?
Don't give these guys ideas.
Why?
Because now they're going to bust my balls about not doing raffles.
Oh, well. Edit.
I don't have to buy my subs.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Wow.
Ouch. I'm just kidding. I wish I could do raffles and stuff like that. Just my focus and time is to organize that kind of stuff is just kind of hard for me to do. And I got everyday low prices. They're hard to beat.
That's right.
Every day's a sale. There you go. I can raffle off my house.
There you go.
It'll be a huge raffle. All right. Andrew says, great show. I had some wine and cooked up a storm. Well, that sounds like a good time. I'm trying your approach on filtration. Awesome berry heavers. So yeah, when you're doing a no filtration, you will get more kind of mulm and stuff that builds up on the top. And the best thing, you can make little tornadoes too. Like you can, I like to call them shenados. Where when you're siphoning, you kind of spinning it around and it takes that mulm off the top of it and then turns it into a tornado that goes right down into your hose.
That's cool.
Vanine says, is it true that hermanos can occasionally predate on young neo shrimp? They seem greedy most of the time. Haha. So I've heard a lot that they will eat shrimp.
Yeah, they're very. I mean, if you look at hermanos, they're bigger than the other shrimp right there, and they're more aggressive.
Yeah, they're always hungry too.
Oh yeah, I can drop a pellet in my hermano tank right there.
Yeah.
And it's like piranhas in there.
Yeah. Matter of fact, when we do the tour, we'll make sure to try to put that in there, give them a little feeding, so you can actually see how much more aggressive they are than the other ones. And also, Queen Galley wants to know, hermano shrimp eat hair algae, don't they?
Yes.
Yep. See, now they're all like raffle. Thanks, Joe. Making me out to be a bad guy for not raffling. So I guess you go to Joe's Shrimp Shack and you can get some raffles.
What I'll do on Caridina only.
Okay.
I'll do it on Caridina.
So what kind of raffles you
I'll
got?
do a $75 gift card for Caridina only or food. And I'll let the mod figure out on here. That's probably the best way because the mods are on here and everything else for one person, and then they can let me know, and I will actually do a gift card up. I actually got the gift cards and where's it right here?
treating them right.
I got the gift cards right here, so I'll put $75 on there. It's good for my website. Caradinas only, so or food.
That's awesome. You're a good guy, Joe.
I try.
You're a good guy.
You like those glasses?
Yeah, they're not too bad.
You want them?
I don't think I need them.
Dang.
Dylan Eagle
I was gonna go to
says,
Orlando with these down there. I don't know.
Oh, there you
I
go.
see them on my face right now, and I seem like a 1970s gangster.
Right. You need like a pimp hat
A fedora.
and a fur coat and some chains and some baby powder to slap your...
This is a family channel.
That's right. This is a family channel.
So $75 gift card for Caradinas and food, and I'll let the mod, whoever you have on the mod there, decide one of the winners here.
What? Oh, on here we're doing a raffle right now.
Yeah, we can do a raffle. Right
Oh.
now. We can do a raffle on here.
So how
I
the
have no
mod
idea.
just picks somebody? See, that's the thing. I feel like somebody gets left out. Lots of people get left out.
How do you want to do it?
I don't know. You're the one that does raffles.
I don't do the raffles that much.
Oh.
I do raffles like in person and stuff, and I draw people's names and everything else.
Well, do you have a sign up or anything? I'll tell you what, go over to Joe's Shrimp Shack, comment on one of his videos, and maybe you can pick a random.
Put LRB.
And then you can do a live drawing of who
That's
wins
right.
the raffle. Maybe do that.
Put the comment, hit LRB.
There you go.
Capital L, capital R, capital B.
There we go.
And then I'll just keep track of all those for a $75 gift card.
And somebody wanted to know if all the fish come with the house when I sell it. So everything will be in the house for sale. The whole stock, plants, everything. So I want it to be a turnkey system for whoever takes over it. And I'm not going to do like a half off sale. and sell everything before I leave and all that. It's gonna have full stock. It's gonna have extra equipment. I'm putting up new lights. It's gonna be a great opportunity for somebody. But holy moly, Constantine, once again with a huge $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Constantine. Says, as always, thanks for the content. Well, as always, brother, wow. Wowing me again. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Danikin Aquatics, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, cool shades, dude. Right on, Danikin. Danikin's my bro. He's the one that took me around in Portland when I went and did my talk up there. Really cool guy. He's got like 8 sections of fish rooms too.
Oh wow.
He's got it bad. All right. So, I thought I had a question I wanted to hit here. How can I get rid of fuzzy green algae growing in my plant shrimp tanks? So, like the tough algae, if it's like real tough, like fuzzy kind of tough algae, you just got to manually remove it. But if it's like the stuff that grows on your glass and it's like real thin, you'll have to scrape it. Amanas might eat that. I'm not sure.
Get a bunch of shrimp.
Or
Watch
get a
them hang
bunch
on
of
there.
shrimp. All right,
Get
so...
the snail trail going on the glass.
Oh, that's what it is. Somebody was asking if they're going to be able to see some shrimp before we get off here.
We're never going to get off. We're just going to keep this going.
No, I like to keep it at an hour because then
All right.
people don't want to
Yeah, we can
watch
see
it
some
and
shrimp and everything else.
lose retention. And they're going to see all this stuff whenever we do a tour. So actually tomorrow, planning on doing a full tour of this whole shrimp
area.
area.
The man cave. You know what?
Yeah,
Not
shrimp
the man
shack.
cave. The shrimp shack.
Shrimp shack. Shrimpy shack. But yeah, let's peep at a few shrimp before we hop off here. I am going to pop off the questions just because it takes a lot of my focus just to organize them in me brain noggin. Barry Heavers, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Shrimp. So where should we even look? I don't even know where to start. Let's start with these. You guys just stare at those and I'm going to read.
Let me get my light too. And I can shine.
But Barry Heavers, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says Pittsburgh, the city of bridges and cool dudes with fishes. I'll see you then, brother. Thanks for the answer. Well, you're very welcome, and I can't wait to come to Pittsburgh and meet you. So thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And Christopher Gonzalez, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, are crystal reds a good starter shrimp? If so, can it elaborate a bit on them? I'm thinking starting them in a 40 breeder planted, of course. So you actually have some crystal reds here. Where are your crystal reds?
PRLs.
So he's got PRLs, which those are the pure red line, pretty much the same thing as a crystal red. They just haven't been blended or the lineage hasn't been messed up.
Super crystals.
And then you do got super crystals, which is a more organized pattern, which is down here of them. So you can create different patterns. Do you remember back in the day at planettank.net, they used to have like shrimp with smiley faces on them. They
Yes,
used to
the
do the ones, what do they call those?
K14s, I think.
I'm surprised you don't see those very much anymore.
Actually, you do see them on a lot of fancy tigers. You see the markings on the top of their heads. Okay. So I had a couple. So that one's got like the dancing man
a little
one.
bit, yeah.
So you do see
But
it on every
one.
once in a
Like
while.
you used to.
No.
Actually, the line I have thrown some of them. I just don't have the time to line them. But as far as keeping the Caridinas, and if you are starting with the crystal reds, you're going to want your soft acidic water. You're going to want a substrate that will help you with that and not hurt you with that. There's actually a tiny little baby right there.
There's itty bitties in there.
Oh, quite a few of them. Little bitty babies.
I placed some berry white here. Get him in the mood.
Yeah, but keep them in a TDS. Joe was recommending, what was 115 to 130, which they can tolerate 100 to 200. I actually tended to have more success towards the 150, 180 when it comes to breeding and everything. And he actually holds, not all these are for sale, right? Correct. So he actually holds some still for just himself to breed out later because he collects like a lot of the rarer stuff as well.
So my big thing is, I want to get them breeding and stuff, and I'm able to get the friends and, everybody that wants them at a reasonable price.
Right.
So these were the best in show that he's visiting it right now. It's Vin's line, best in show for the Aquatic Experience International Contest this last year. I was able to pick up the breeding pair and I had babies. So here's those Amanos. You want to show that whole feeding frenzy?
Oh yeah, you want to do that for them? You guys can see the feeding frenzies are always
Ready?
good. We actually do feeding frenzies a lot on the Q&A. And Muddy Waters, thank you so much, Muddy Waters, for the $20 super chat. Awesome of you, brother. Says, thanks all, keep it real. Same to you, bro. Thank you so much. But there they go. Look at that guy. That one's like all mine. They're nuts. Now, if you were to throw one of those in the Neo-Caridinas or the Caridinas, they'd just be slowly cruising
So my favorite
towards
is when you get that one shrimp that grabs a huge chunk and just flies away.
Yeah, that guy. They gotta take it back in the corner so they can go eat it somewhere safely where they don't have to compete with their fellow shrimp mate.
And keep in mind, I just fed these guys yesterday too.
Yeah, so they're always hungry. And they're really great, so if you're dealing with like algae issues, if you got a tank like this, and you have some plants that are getting taken over by hair algae or whatnot, and you want to salvage them, throw your plants in there and they'll actually take care of them real quick. All the algae. What is that you fed? Candy Overhauls would like to know.
That was Snow Pops by Shrimp King.
Okay. The Shrimp King stuff. River Life, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Great to see you in here, brother. Says, Lucas, this is awesome. Thank you. Well, you are awesome, River Life. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. As much as I would love to keep this running forever and ever, I have to say adieu. And you guys will see much more of these later on too, so I want to kind of save it for the fisherman tour. Oh, there goes your glasses. All right, so we must say goodbye. Let's get this in the background. Beautiful tanks. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for the support. I appreciate you so much. Check out Joe's Shrimp Shack, his channel. Candy Overhauls for all you do. The most amazing mod out there.
Yep, make sure you go on there and say LRB on one of my comments and on there, and I'll do a raffle for the $75 gift card for Caridinas or the shrimp food.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that, Joe.
Thank you.
That
Not a
is
problem.
sweet.
Anytime.
All right, so till next time, everybody, have a great week, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Hit that like button, too. That'd be sweet.
Smash it.
Ah. You want to do that, Joe?
I want to do that right here, right?